Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Grown Folk Talk. I am your host, B, and today we have the feminist. We've got the woman who says she's bitter, she hates men, and all that crap. But at the end, the last clip, I think I got 5 clips. The last clip, the lady's gonna break it down and tell the truth in behind the rhetoric of we hate men. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I am a bitter black woman.
I'm a PhD.
Not only am I bitter, I'm angry, I'm pressed, but I'm absolutely proud of myself. It is because of my bitterness that I was able to teach more black women about the disgusting manipulation tactics of the narcissistic black man. Damn! See, our mothers and fathers never taught us this information. Our school teachers, our pastors, nobody taught the black woman anything about the toxic, narcissistic, manipulative, abusive narcissist, sociopath, psychopath. But every time I open my mouth to help my sisters, here come one of you black brothers calling me bitter. So I figure if I call myself bitter and beat you to it, you'll shut the fuck up and sit down somewhere. We all know you're mad that I'm exposing the game. I'm proud to be bitter.
Say another motherfucking
luxury items
word.
To women at this point. Women don't give 2 chocolate-covered shits what men want. It doesn't matter to us anymore. This is the part you're not understanding. See, for hundreds of years, the patriarchy dictated that women must get married to a man in order to be able to function in society. But that's not the case anymore. Women don't have to get married to a man to live any kind of fulfilled life they want. Women can meet their own basic needs. In the immortal words of Miss Miley Cyrus, I can buy my own flowers. So the only reason for me to be in a relationship with a man is if he's bringing something to the table, if he's enriching my life in some way. I don't have to get married to function. Women can choose now, and more and more and more, women are choosing not to get married or be in relationships with men. And that's when y'all are losing your minds. You should be spending more time improving yourself instead of bullying women on the internet. And this whole threat of women, oh, you're going to grow old and die alone. No, we're not. That's not a threat. We have our friends. We have our sisters with us. Did you ever see the Golden Girls, my dude? That's not a cautionary tale. It's a goddamn victory lap.
Look at them. They laugh, they don't need no man. They can't even get this motorcycle fired up. The throttle or whatever this is they trying to do. I don't know nothing about motorcycles, but I know they can't get it working. The 3 of them can't get it going, but they don't need no man. He don't do motorcycles. Pork, chicken, pork, chicken. That's all I can think. The way they just cackling. Chicken. They need to flag down one of the men in the back and ask them to get their motorcycle started. Oh, they got it. Finally.
We need men in our society. Listen to this.
Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
Honestly, no.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Shut up, bitch!
Okay, well, some bad news to these man-hating feminists. I am so sorry to break this to you, but we absolutely need men. And not just for the sake of our population not dying out forever and the world coming to an end, but, well, men are imperative in the most important fields in the world. Men make up 85% of the military. That house or building you're currently sitting in, guess what? Almost 99% of construction jobs are man-made.
You're gonna learn today.
Firemen, 92% men. Pilots, 91% men. 82% of farming jobs proudly occupied by men. And I just said the word man-made. It's something I celebrate, but it's interesting because I was just thinking about it. And I'm like, you know what? There is going to come a time probably not too far off from now where the word man-made is no longer even allowed to be used. I can just see the liberal nut jobs coming after the word man-made. I mean, the writing is already on the wall, as we have already seen. But back to other men-dominated industries that we would clearly suffer without. Landscapers, well over 99% men. 99% of carpenters are men. Inventors, fishermen, policemen, also all male-dominated professions. So, guys, let's just cut the BS. Even if you hate men or embody the most extreme forms of feminism, there is no way you can say that we do not need men. And don't forget, if it wasn't for a man, you would not be alive. And that is a scientific fact.
I'm about to tell you why Black women don't need a man. As a relationship coach who works with Black and brown women, I hear so many of my clients consistently say to me, I don't need no man. When ultimately they absolutely want one, but they just cannot wrap themselves around the idea that they could possibly need one. The reason why they don't need a man is fear. Fear that needing a man will minimize their accomplishments. Fear that needing a man will minimize their strength. Fear that needing a man will put them in danger and put them at risk to be neglected, abused, or abandoned like they have been in the past. Realizing that you do need a man as a woman, realizing that men and women are interdependent and we need each other is the exact thing that will lead to the safety and security that you crave in the most amazing relationship of your life.
All right, now let me add my little 2 cents to this. Obviously, you already know what side I'm on. Of course, we need a man. I know I need my man, and I feel like I answer for all women when I say we need a man. But like the young lady just said, some women just don't want to admit it. Some people are so prideful and arrogant. Some people are so full of themselves. Just because you get married or you have a man, it doesn't diminish your accomplishments. And I want to speak on that for a second. As a former career-minded woman, now I'm more so in a domestic capacity. But, you know, I did go get a career and chase a bag. I ain't gonna lie. And
I'm a PhD.
I did get the big head. A lot of women get the big head when that money started rolling in. You get them letters behind your name. I went through that phase too, but life humbled you, girl. Okay. Plus, I didn't want to devalue my husband. I'm not one of those people, those females who feel like they could just go on and run their mouth and they don't consider how it makes their husband feel. I think we've gotten to a point in 2024 where women just completely disregard men's feelings. And now we have the type of men that we have out here now who are basically saying, y'all not going to keep trying to make us be simps. Y'all not going to downplay our roles. You're not going to downplay how needed we are in society, and if you keep on, we'll catch a flight. But furthermore, the conversation is there, and men are like, they just sick of it. They ain't putting up with no more. They run this. They're stronger. They're masculine, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we need to get more into our roles and stop trying to wear men's pants and wear the man's role. In a nutshell, but I think a lot of women do suffer from that pride and that fearfulness. Like, if I submit and acknowledge I need my man, then I'm not the ish and up here like I once thought I was. It's like, your degree still exists. I still got my nursing license, even though I say I listen to my man, I'm submissive to my man, and I need him. My credentials didn't just disappear when I said that. So I think it's just a sense of overflated ego. Maybe you the ish on your job, or you the head nurse, you the DON, or you the...
I'm a PhD.
I don't know. I don't know nothing really other than nursing. So what would you call it? You the manager or the foreman.
I'm a PhD.
Or whatever at your job. You're in some type of leadership position, and it's hard to transition. It's hard to get home and kind of tuck your tail in, so to speak. And I think a lot of women base it too on guys who are not so good guys. And I don't like to do that. I don't like to play into that. I don't want to play into the minority. The majority of my brothers are good men. And so that's what I'm talking about. When I'm over here advocating for men, it's the people like my husband, my brothers, my father, my cousins, people like that. I'm not advocating for a man who live in foul. Just like I'm not going to advocate for a woman who live in foul, who's sitting up running her mouth saying that basically she's a feminist and how we don't need men. And I just don't get that, because you came from a man. Now, maybe you got that stance because the man you came from wasn't in your life. Or maybe you were trying to be in relationships with men who were clearly telling you that they didn't want to be with you, but you were trying to force it and make it work. And I think things like that kind of help mold the minds of some women to be on that crazy man hating stuff. But I just don't get it. I don't get why you would want to feed into that stereotype. We talk about how men and women need to get along and we're tired of the gender war. But then you'll have women who literally get in front of a camera and say how they hate men, which I cannot believe you would group them like that, because you ain't dealt with every man. The men that you've dealt with, you've become bitter towards them. But we all know it's two sides to a story. Another thing I wanted to touch on, the women saying how they don't care about being alone as they get older. Let me tell you, as somebody who has family members in their 50s and 60s and 70s, you may be comfortable by yourself because you don't deal with nobody else's crap, but it's not good for man to be alone. That's in the good book, okay? So people who say that, to me, you ain't thinking about your future, because you don't know how you gonna go out of here. You may be spending the last 10 years of your life sickly. Everybody need help sometime. Can't nobody do it all by themselves. So I think that's real fake for people who, oh, I'm a loner, I don't need nobody. Yes, you do. Everybody gonna need somebody at some point in their life, and then you spend so many years isolating people, being to yourself, thinking you can dot every I and cross every T. Then life throw you a curveball and you need somebody, and now you got too much pride. You can't call on nobody because you pride yourself in not needing nobody. But I think that's crazy. I would never say I don't mind dying alone, because some people keep saying, well, everybody die alone. Like, you know, you're going to die by yourself. But that don't mean you have to be alone. That don't mean you may not be surrounded by people at your bedside, somebody who's willing to turn you and wipe you. As somebody who's had about 3 or 4 people die in my family, or close to my family, in the last 3 or so years, you know, death is real, and people like to play with that. People like to be prideful. Or women, we got our own money, so we don't need no man. Yep, I'm able to go and make real good money, but I still need my husband. That money doesn't always take care of everything. There are some things that money cannot buy. You may need something at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and you can't call nobody to come. But when you put in that work and you put in that time, you got that track record with someone, my husband could call me and I'm coming. I could call him and he's coming. So I hate this rhetoric. I'm definitely not a feminist, as you can tell. I'm not anti-woman. I'm not anti-man. I'm anti-BS. And I think it's a lot of BS that people are saying in these spaces, and you got people taking it, running with it, and it ain't doing no good for our communities. But I'm going to leave this video here. Don't forget to leave me a comment, like, and subscribe. Y'all know I'm trying to get to 10K subs. Hook your girl up. Hit that subscribe button. Until the next time, I'll catch y'all in the next one.
Come on, push a button.